to a high standard production.
Yo, what it is, man? It's your boy Deuces with the Geekset podcast, the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. And you know, right now, I got a special guest. This is the first edition of 101 with Deuces. And I got my man, one of the young OGs in the game, somebody that's I truly respect, you know what I'm saying, their lyrical content, truly respect their comic book, I guess a comic book historian, hip-hop historian. Got my man Mickey Factz in the building.
Smicky, what's going on? I'm in San Francisco right now. You see the bridge behind me, baby. You see what's going on.
See you, man. So, man,
yes,
you know what I'm saying? As I said, this is that only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. And this is actually the first edition of the 101s. And
wow.
what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a moment to be able to interview, you know what I'm saying, content creators, artists, culture movers, pushers, you know what I'm saying, the curators. And truthfully, you know what I'm saying, when I came up with the idea for the podcast, you was one of the first people that I wanted to kind of get on, but I wanted to make sure that we amassed a good following before we do so, because I wanted to be able to, you know what I'm saying, introduce you to our fans, because, you know, I've been a follower of you since, I think my first introduction to you was on the Cool Kids record, Rockin' and Rollin'.
Rockin' and Rollin'.
Yeah.
That was actually my record. Shout out to the Cool Kids.
Oh, it was?
I had them on my joint. I
think I heard it on the mixtape and it had Cool Kids featuring Mickey. And I was like, bro, who was dude? So then I started listening to more. And then, you know what I'm saying? So like that was like my first introduction to you. And then like fast forward to like, I want to say, was that 2015 we did the record?
The 2012.
2012. It was that a minute ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah, but what I did respect about like meeting you and having that opportunity to do that record with you, like we did the record. I remember when we sent it to you, you know what I'm saying, you was down immediately, and then you sent it back. Well, before you sent it back, you was like, oh, y'all niggas got battle bars. You was like, I'm coming for you. I was like, nigga, let's go. And so like we did the record, and then, you know what I'm saying, just being a follower of you, you know what I'm saying, I saw that you was rocking out with Lupe in Chicago, and I was like, yo, I'm just gonna hit him up and see if he down to do this video. And you know what I'm saying, you was down, we knocked the video out. And then I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying, I want to take it a little bit further. I remember we brought you to the city, and the turnout wasn't good, but you told the owner, like, look, I'm just here. I can just rock out with the homies, man. And they was like, nah, we still going to pay you. But then we felt so bad about it. So then when we got booked for the A3C festival, I was like, bro, we got to get Mickey into a decent crowd. Because it was us, EMC, Sway was hosting it. And I was like, let's get Mickey. And so
Farrell was on that show too, right?
Yeah. So like it was dope because like throughout all that, like I said, like you rock with us, you always drop gems with us. And then fast forward to now, you know what I'm saying, my brother Maul, you know what I'm saying, he rock with you on the Sosa tip. And I was just like
guy.
it's just so much gems that come from you. So you know, we'll definitely want to make sure I'm giving you your roses before we get into this interview and everything.
Absolutely. That's love. I appreciate that wholeheartedly, for real.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I want to start off, you know what I'm saying, just in general. Like, can we talk about Sosa?
Yeah, we can talk about Sosa. What you want to know? What you want to talk about, brother? Like, let me know.
Well, to the people that don't know what Sosa is, give a rundown what Sosa is.
Sosa is an acronym for the Society of Spoken Art. It is a school that is headed by Lupe Fiasco. And I am one of the masters in that school that, you know, put my input into the original curriculum and the admissions process of the school. Lupe runs it pretty much in terms of, you know, the teaching aspect of it, along with Nikki Jean. And I come in to do special projects with the students, and I step in sometimes to give input, on specific things dealing with lyricism and the science behind it, you know, which is linguistics and that whole rabbit hole of that. So that's basically what Sosa is in a nutshell.
Yeah, man. And what's so dope about it is that like it's like, you know, seeing my brother Maul go through that process of, you know what I'm saying, getting in and just going through it and going through the courses. Like this is what I love about it is this is not like a fly by night, just a group of individuals. Like there's actual homework, actual history behind it. There's rhyme and reason to it, right? Which is one of the things that in hip hop that we definitely been, you know what I'm saying, trying to fight for, letting people know like, oh, this is not just, you know, putting words over a beat. There's a science to it, man. There's some people here that take it a whole nother level, you know what I'm saying? And I think that right there is always something that attracted me to it. I'm like, yo, that's so fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? I remember, you know what I'm saying, y'all had y'all midterms and I'm like, bro, Moss sitting there stressing. I'm like, bro, before I knew what it was, I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, you got to read a book for some rap stuff? And I'm just like, and then when he broke it down, I was like, yo, that's dope as fuck. Like
Yeah. Everything that Maul's doing, I had to do in terms of, like, I had to read the same books.
Yeah, that's what he was
I had to
telling me.
read. I had to do everything. So the courses that they're doing, like, we had to do, but we actually did even more because we had to read books that they're not reading to make sure that it was right for the curriculum.
Yeah.
And my question to you, though,
Yeah.
knowing Maul before Sosa and knowing Maul after Sosa, has Maul become a better MC?
Oh, 100%, 100%. And I, you know, it's one of those things that, like, you know, because he's family and because we got that natural competitor nature, you know what I'm saying? Like him seeing it, I'm like, oh, I got to step it up. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like, when I listen to the stuff that he's been putting out, and just like even general, like everybody that's involved in Sosa, when I start listening, because he started introducing me to some of the other cats as well. So like when I start listening, I'm just like, yo, them patterns is different. Like, you know, because I listen to it, you know, like when you a certain artist, the people listen to you in a different way, right? Like like the way that I'm gonna listen to, like, you know what I'm saying, like a Drake bar is not gonna be the same that I listen to like you, Black Thought, you know what I'm saying, Maul. Like it's like, so it's different, right? So I'm hearing different things and I'm like, oh, that's gonna go over niggas' heads. But like I'm catching it and I'm like, oh no, I need to get there, you know what I'm saying? And like I like, so like he definitely be, you know, Sosa definitely helped him grow as an artist a lot. Now I got a question, because like that kind of goes into one of my next topics, because like, so one of the things that I do love about your freestyles that you do when you hit like, you know what I'm saying, sway, flex and everything like that, like you drop like a lot of knowledge, or like there's like some type like underlying theme to it, right? So like I remember like when I was watching the Flex joint, like one, I was like, damn, I can't believe Flex is really like, I felt like Flex had a little doubt against you. And then and I'm like so me, because like I said, I've been a fan for a minute. I'm like, what? So then when you start dropping the bars and you went into the whole financial advisor, like whole thing, right? And I'm just like, at first I'm like, Flex ain't gonna like it. I'm like, but he don't know, like Mickey was just dropping some like actual facts in this motherfucker. But then the fact that he gave you his props, and gave you your props, and I was like, all right, I appreciate that. But like, explain that moment. Like, how did that feel in that moment, knowing that pressure was on?
Oh man. Well, you know, I had wrote those bars for the Breakfast Club in at first.
Okay.
You know, I wanted to go to the Breakfast Club, do an interview for my album, The Achievement, and I had wrote those bars at the beginning of, or maybe in the middle of 2016. So, you know, the plan was to go and spit those bars there. That didn't happen. So I spit those bars again at Sway's Doomsday Cypher.
Okay.
They never aired the footage.
Oh man.
So then what happens is Jay-Z drops 444.
Right.
And it's just like, I was ahead of,
I
literally was ahead of the curve.
He was ahead.
And then this happens. So now it's like, okay, well, it's still a dope rap.
Right.
And I called out Flex to have me go up there, you know, and I already had a Flex rap because I was already planning on going up there at one point. So I had it planned out. I cut my Flex rap in half, and in between the bars, I go into the credit rap. And it was like seamless. Like you just would have never known. You'd have just thought I wrote that.
I
whole
would have never knew there was two. Yeah.
So, and you know, when I did it, I was just, you know, he was only impressed by like anything under 600 is like bad breath. Anything under 500 is like bad sex. Like he wasn't understanding that what I had did was like culture shifting for a lot of Black youth and a lot of people that were dealing with, bad credit. So, I'm just happy that I was able to do it on a platform that people could take and run with and gain inspiration from. I just feel like these are things that our people just doesn't know. And I feel like I'm a good candidate for, in inviting that kind of knowledge into your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, most def. And like, you know what? Like, I always try to gauge what the people think. Like, I understand like certain people are not going to get it. But like one thing that I did look and I did see, like when you go into the comments of that video, like you do see mad people like, yo, Flex not even getting that part. Flex not even getting this. So like you like the fans and the people who's giving you your props. And you know what I'm saying? And
Oh yeah. They tore that shit up. They tore it apart, bro. And I'm happy that they did because, and it's interesting that you bring that up because, again, I wanted it to go viral, and it didn't when it went on Hot 97. But when the Black financial people got it, they made it go viral.
Yeah.
And it went so viral that I got so many opportunities out of that because of that space. And people were championing me for that. So, I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad I made that decision to do it. And everything is in God's plan and timing when it's time for things to happen. Yeah.
You know what make it really dope too is, and this goes to your artistry and just of you as an artist, it's the way that you spit it. Because like a lot of people don't understand, like, like the cadence and the way that you say certain things. Like if you just put that on mute and just look at it, it look like you battling. Like it looks like it look like you on that URL stage. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? So you giving out those financial bars. And I think that that's what made it also digestible. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like people saw it like that and saw it in that realm. And I always talk to people when I'm talking about like these flex freestyles. Cause like, I think I want to believe like did Lux hit up there before you or after when he went?
Lux went before me. Black Thought went before me.
Yeah. So like I'm low, like no cap, bro. Like that is the bars that I put up. Like anytime I tell anybody about like freestyles that hit on Flex, I show them Black Thought, I show them yours, I show them Lux. Like that, like because like I feel like outside of just gun bars, outside of just bars, like there's actual knowledge in there. And like that's the type of shit that I fuck with when it comes down to hip hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I like my gangster rap, I like my gun bars, but like if I can get somebody or I can see somebody spitting bars and actually putting some type of knowledge to it that makes dope sense and then it sound dope, like yeah, I try to put as many people onto that like as much as I can. So but like
I'm glad I made that decision to do that there though.
Yeah. So now you're speaking of Lux with your connection with URL. So like I know, like I said, coming from, you know what I'm saying, New York, you know what I'm saying, that's the home of, well, one of the homes of battle rap and everything like that, but the home of hip hop for sure. Like what does that connection mean to you? How that respect that you get from those people on that stage?
I mean, I think it's a respect because I stepped in to that side of the culture early on, when nobody kind of wanted to be involved with it. I feel like now it's kind of a global phenomenon between celebrities. Like everybody kind of knows about that side of the culture. But when I was kind of pulling up to it, like nobody kind of wanted, it was the black sheep of the culture.
Yeah.
And I showed them love, and I've done, some things behind the scenes to try to push the culture forward. But everything again is in timing, and a lot of guys on that side of the culture show me a lot of respect and love because it's genuine from me. I've been, as a fan, just kind of I didn't see anything wrong with just kind of going to events, and at one point, like people, like celebrities didn't want to go,
right?
And it's like, it was very taboo. So when I was pulling up to them joints, guys, like, again, they just did not want to show up. And then when Summer Madness 2 came around, I called Q-Tip and I was like, yo, I would love if you came through. And he was like, yeah, I was definitely going to come through. I'm going to call Busta, I'm going to call Diddy, and, I'm going to bring everybody out. And he kept his word. And, that was a monumental moment for the culture in that time frame, you know what I'm saying? Because at that time, Q-Tip was my mentor at that time, you know what I'm saying? And we were always building like daily. So it was a beautiful thing to kind of experience around that time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Like, I know, like, you know what I'm saying? And just being able to see certain people, like, on that stage, like, that was huge for me. And especially when I started seeing people that I rock with tough, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I really started seeing you on the stage, like I said, it was, like, a little bit after we did our joint. And then, you know what I'm saying, like, my nigga Rain, salute Rain, like, that was, you know what I'm saying, we did some stuff with him a while back ago, but, like, seeing him on, I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying, like, this is, like, dope, because, like, I've been fucking with URL since Smack DVDs, you know what I'm saying, so it's like, you know what I'm saying, to see that growth, and then to seeing, like, actual lyricists jump in on there, you know what I'm saying, but I think out of everybody, I think I see you get the most love, and then I think I seen, like, you get on that stage, well, because you and Daylight went at it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me and Day went at it. We went at it. We went at it. 2017.
That shit was dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, like I said, Daylight one of them niggas that, like, people duck. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I remember seeing you online, like, let's go. I want all the smoke. And that's another thing that I like. Like, I have never seen you back down with your pen from nobody. And I see you like, hey, let's go. You know what I'm saying? We can do it or not. You know what I'm saying? I think that's dope. But then, like, you see, like, the top MCs and top motherfuckers give you salute. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I think that right there is, like, what really, really stands a testament of time when it comes down to you as an artist. Like, you getting love from the battle culture, which a lot of artists don't get love from the battle culture because they're not built like that. But then you get love from the top lyricists that are in the game, you know what I'm saying, which some people, like I said, they don't get that love. Then you get love from, you know what I'm saying, I see song makers and other motherfuckers giving you love. And I think that right there, to me, is like, that's one of those things that, like, as an artist, I would love to have that. That's that perfect balance. That's that Thanos snap. That's that you got love. You getting it everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I just, a lot of it is due to, you know, me not being afraid to challenge myself musically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, you know, I'm one of those guys that, like you said, man, like, I've worked with the Ye's, the Yeezys, the John Legends, the Brunos, but then I've also worked with the Styles P's, the Pharaohs, the Royces, the Elzais, the Sahas, and then, you know, I was able to also touch the stage. And for me, like, that encompasses everything that deals with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always wanted to be able to leave my legacy. Like, yo, Mickey touched this. He left his imprint. He left his thumbprint on every facet of, you know, rapping. You know what I'm saying? Even with the trap stuff. Like, I've done stuff with trap artists. You know, and it's just always like a level of respect that Nicky's able to just kind of go and do whatever he wants, and it's okay to be that way. You know what I mean? And I'm just grateful that, you know, people look at me in that vein. You know?
Yeah, can't put you in a box, man. So speaking of bars, I wanted to get your because you got a couple of them. When it comes down to, like, superhero comic book bars, what is your hardest comic book superhero bar?
That is absolutely impossible to answer.
I can tell you one of my favorites.
What's one of your favorites? Let me hear that, and then I'll see what I could do.
So it was a Sway freestyle, and I think, well, you was like, damn, I wish I knew it all, but I know, like, you started off, you like, let me, matter of fact, I put it in my notes somewhere. It was like, Spider-Man, I put Max Dillon in electric chairs. I'm Hugh Jackman with a new accent. 6 claws in the adamantium fused talons. Got a 100-hit combo off the group challenge. And Sway, by the way, the real name is Bruce Banner. Yeah, that means the flow is 2 gamma, and I can fly, teleport, and I threw hammers. When you said that, bro, like, that whole scheme, I was like, duh, that shit was dope.
Yeah, I mean, that whole Sway freestyle.
That whole
honestly,
freestyle. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those things where, like, I wrote that actually for Adult Swim, and it was supposed to be like something for Adult Swim specifically.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, it didn't happen with Adult Swim. And then I was supposed to give that to Team Backpack.
Okay.
And then Team Backpack was like, no, we don't want you to do like 100 bars. We want you to do like 16 or 24. And I was like, well, then I'm not giving you this. And then I went up to Sway, and I wasn't even going to spit that. But the guy that was with me, like, he went up there and he spit like 100 bars. And I was like, all right, since you want to do that, now I gotta leave. I gotta drop this on your noggin. And it was a bad situation. But you know, shout out the homie who was with me. But I feel like for me, I'm a comic dude.
Yeah.
I'm a video gamer. I'm
Yeah,
a pop culture guy.
we're gonna get
You
into some
know.
of that because you got a couple of hot takes that I saw that I wanted to ask you about and everything.
Oh yeah. We can talk about it. We can
I
talk
know.
about it.
That's what. See, that's the thing. Like when I came up with Geekset, the one thing that I was talking about, I was like, fam, like you know what I'm saying. One, like there's that stigma about around geeks, like geeks ain't cool. But I was like, I know a lot of cool ass niggas that fuck with comic books, anime, video games, you know what I'm saying, that can really school you on some stuff. And then I was like, but if you think about it, both cultures is like the same. I was like, you think about the upbringing, both cultures was shunned. People shun the geek culture, people shun hip hop at first. I was like, both cultures are deeply rooted. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh,
Sorry about
you
that.
showing your little one?
No. Somebody was giving me a phone call. Pardon me.
No problem. All right, but
call.
no, but like you know what I'm saying, both was rooted, you know what I'm saying, with deep, heavy passion to it, right? But then I said, fast forward to right now, you think about it right now. What are the two biggest things right now? Geek culture and hip hop. I was like, if you got a product, if you got a company and you ain't tapping into hip hop, you out of here. If you putting out a movie that's not based around a comic book, something, you're gonna have a hard time trying to amass a group following. I was like, both of them are pushing the culture. But one of the things that really, one of the things that I always thought was pretty dope was your love for Street Fighter, bro. Like, yeah, man. And you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to like is that your top game? Is that
So Street Fighter 4, sorry about that again.
Yeah,
Street Fighter 4 is my top game, absolutely. In terms of the Street Fighter lore.
Yeah.
And that particular franchise. But I haven't gotten into Street Fighter 5. I've been into Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like I love the Bruce Lee characters. It's something that my father passed on to me in terms of DNA. So like I play with Fei Long on Street Fighter, and I play with Liu Kang on Mortal Kombat pause for both. You know what I'm saying? And I try my best to learn as much as I can when using these fighters when I play these games. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I'm a big Street Fighter fan, 4, not 5.
Okay.
And a big Mortal Kombat 11 fan right now.
Yeah. You know, props to the love for Fei Long. Like low key, like same thing with my pops. Me and my pops used to watch nothing but all those Bruce Lee flicks and everything. So like, no matter what game, if you got a game out and you got a Bruce Lee based character, you got me right off the rip. My question about this Street Fighter though, like, what's your history with Lupe, man? I feel like you guys always got this ongoing Street Fighter beef going on. I've seen multiple times you guys going at it back and forth about it. Where'd that start at?
It started like in like 2011, 2012, when we was touring, you know what I'm saying? Like he was always talking crazy about Street Fighter. And I would be like, oh, word, so you nice? And he's like, yeah, I'm nice. I was like, all right, cool. So what happened was we played when I went to Harvard. Me and him went to Harvard and we played Street Fighter 4. I cooked him bad. This was like right before he played Daigo.
Okay.
And like I cooked him, and you know he was tight. And then from that I went to LA and I went to his crib and we played Street Fighter 5. He cooked me in 5.
All right.
Because I don't play 5. He cooked me in 3 because I don't play 3.
All right.
We put on 4. I cooked him. But his excuses, well, I won't even call it an excuse. He says he doesn't play 4. 5 plays like 3. So we had a show in Denver when I was on tour with him in 2018, and I think we did like a best of 5. It was like Ryu versus I forgot who we used, but me and him went to the wire. He beat me in Street Fighter 2, and so he currently holds the spoils in terms of victories over me. And he had to fight for that for like 4 or 5 years. Like, I was cooking him for a long time in 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Has anybody else caught that smoke? Like anybody else?
So it was supposed to be like a 8-way tournament between me, Lupe, Joe Budden, Just Blaze, Hit Boy, Neo, and like two other guys.
Yeah.
But we never got it down. We never got a chance to play. But Neo is really good at Street Fighter. Like
Word? I wouldn't think that.
super good.
No, you know what? No, I can see it. I can see it. I feel like Joe just button mash. I feel like I don't trust his gaming.
That was a bar, by the way. Joe Button Mash. So nah, I mean, I hear Button's okay. I hear Blaze is really good.
I hear Blaze talk. I hear Blaze talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I hear he's good, but from through the grapevine of who I hear is really, really, really nice is Neo and Hit Boy. I hear no, actually not even Hit Boy, pardon me. Boi Wonder.
Boi Wonder? Okay.
Boi Wonder I hear is really good. Him and Neo are really good I hear. And, you know, I tried to play with Neo a couple times. He DM'd me a couple times to get on PS4, but I was out, or every time I hit him, he would be out. But like me and him, we got some unfinished business as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That'd be a dope ass thing to actually put together though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that I tune into that, especially like the geek culture. Like everybody, you know what I'm saying? They love to see when like artists embrace that, you know what I'm saying? Or just people of the culture embrace this other culture. And I think that would be really dope in regards to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, another game that I saw you showing mad love to is like the Arkham and the Spider-Man series, like that engine and everything like that, right?
Yes.
And I think like I know you gave Spider-Man mad tick over the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's my favorite comic book character. So off top, you know, like I fell in love with the game. You know, I thought, you know, it could have been a couple more villains and they could have got rid of the Miles gameplay and the Mary Jane gameplay, but for the most part, it's a great game. I beat it about 4 times already now on all difficulties, 100% on all difficulties. I cooked that game, but it's still an amazing game. Same thing with the Arkhams. I play Arkham Knight the most out of all 4.
Yeah.
But I think Origins is my favorite. Yeah.
My only gripes with Arkham Knight is I don't like any of the Batmobile battles. I just don't.
Okay, I agree, but I do like the Batmobile stuff. Only because it's a different game mechanic. I would have preferred not to have it so prevalent, but I enjoy it. You know?
Maybe it's that because like I don't hate on the Batmobile and the capabilities that it have. I was just like, man, fam, I feel like I was doing it all the time.
Yeah, it can be annoying. It can be annoying. I agree. I beat Batman about 3-4 times as well. Like, you know, whenever my wife goes away, I put either Batman or Spider-Man in, and I just zone out. You know, because it eats up so much time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And then the other thing that the one thing that I did like about the Spider-Man games. So like one of the things that I hate about the Arkham games is the Joker, like finding the Joker missions, right? Like not necessarily the missions, but finding the question marks. But when the Spider game,
Riddler.
Yeah, sorry, Riddler. I said Joker. Yeah, Riddler. My fault. But in the Spider-Man game, I did not like hate having to do that same type of mission style where you have to find all the backpacks. Yeah, all the backpacks. It didn't feel as tedious as it did with the Riddler mission.
Okay, so the backpacks are more so it's just stuff that's placed on the map.
Right.
The Riddler challenges are more like puzzles.
But but the challenge, I guess I didn't have. It's like when you once you activate the challenge, I didn't have. I enjoy activating the challenges. I just didn't like having to go find those little question marks all over the place.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were all. I mean, in Arkham Knight, I think it's like 240 or something like that.
It was crazy.
It was crazy, but you know, they wanted people to have a good time playing the game. You know, so I couldn't be too mad at it. You know, I beat every Arkham game to the extreme. Yeah. Like I've smoked them all. You know, those are the only games that I get every trophy on everything.
Yeah.
Like that.
It hurt my soul when they said they was going. When they said they wasn't going to make another one. But I think that last year they said something like they thinking about doing another one. I don't know.
Well, you know, there's rumors. You know, they were going to announce something at E3, but you know, Corona has kind of killed that, so I'm not sure. Yeah. And you know, I'm waiting on Spider-Man 2, which should hopefully be out next year, about September. You know, we'll see.
So question, with in that realm, so like they both kind of got like the same game mechanics, and then thinking about other superheroes, who would you like to see in that game mechanic if you could?
Daredevil would be good.
Daredevil would be dope.
Daredevil would be a fire game, in my opinion, in terms of that game mechanic, because he's blind. He has the sonar. So the sonar would kind of be like when Black Batman goes into detective mode.
Yeah.
And he probably have the same kind of,
Yeah, you're right.
warning kind of thing. And that to me, like, I kind of wish Daredevil had that before Batman, because that sounds more realistic than Batman having those.
Yeah.
That warning.
They make Batman OP sometimes though.
Yeah. But I feel like Daredevil would be a good game. When at one point when I was playing God of War, that was Thor basically.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was a Thor game.
Yeah.
I just finished playing Infamous Second Son. I just beat that. So,
right.
There's a power in there that reminds me of the Flash. So if they follow those mechanics, you can have a good Flash game. But aside from Daredevil, maybe a Punisher game.
But see, I feel like Punisher game probably be more like Max Payne.
Punisher is definitely Max Payne. Absolutely. If I want to play Punisher, I'll play Max Payne. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Maybe a Black Panther game then. Black Panther, Punisher, Black Panther, pardon me. Black Panther, Daredevil. I don't know if an Iron Man game will work. I mean, even though we got the Avengers coming this year, I'm still skeptical. I'm not sure how that's gonna be.
Me either, man.
I'm side-eyeing it. I don't know, brother. I'm not convinced. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Because I thought they did God of War. That was Thor all the way.
Yeah. I can see it. I can definitely see it. Yeah, and especially like I said, with the one of the things that I always loved about God of War was the landscape. Like God of War is a beautiful ass game. Like when they do like their cinematic intros or like just like their cutscenes, and like you think about Thor and like just like everything that he, and like in Asgard and everything like that, like you can have those same like type of cinematic style cutscenes, and then just like the fighting mechanics. So that I can see that same thing. But speaking of Marvel, so you had a couple of Marvel hot takes that I wanted to bring up to the front. And so I question before. So one of the ones that I saw, and this was a while ago, and I just want to know, did you still think that? It's like you were super amped up about Age of Ultron. And
I was.
Like, you had put a tweet out. It was like, bro, I just saw this trailer for Age of Ultron is better than every superhero movie out. And somebody actually like better than Dark Knight. You was like, fam, that's what I'm telling you. This trailer is better than everything. And I'm like, I wonder, do you still think that?
Well, the reason why I said that was because they had Ultron looking so menacing.
They did. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That trailer was crazy. Like when
Ultron
with the no strings on me, you know what I'm saying, in the background. Like, yeah.
They had him so menacing. And anybody, who, because I'm not like an MCU comic head. Like I'm a comic head. You know what I'm saying? So when anything about Ultron, he's reckless. He's belligerent. He's absolutely insane. So I'm like, oh, they really did this with the movie. I cannot wait. And then the trailer was like, man, this is incredible. And then when you watch the movie, he's making jokes.
Yeah.
He's like, it's just not the same. It's just like the voice wasn't as scary. Like James Spader might have been a bad choice. Like it should have been.
I see where they tried to go with it, but yeah, the execution just wasn't.
He needed to be maniacal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, that is the essence of Ultron, and it did not show that in, it did not show that in the Age of Ultron movie. It was a very big letdown for me.
All right. So another one that you put out there. So, and this is more recent, but you like the Ed Norton Hulk over Mark Ruffalo?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Still to this day.
Yeah.
Still to this day. I am not a fan. I mean, I'm just not a fan of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. I'm just not. I think the best Hulk he was potentially may have been the Avengers, and even that Hulk is not better than the original Ed Norton Hulk. Like it's just not like Ed Norton. He played a very serious Banner. He was extremely intelligent, extremely you know, he knew how to kind of get out of sticky situations like a Banner. He used his intelligence in that way. Like Mark Ruffalo is just, he's campy. He's a campy Disney. He's a campy Disney Hulk.
All right,
and even when he is the Hulk, it's not like, it's not the Hulk that we know. And even when he went crazy with Iron Man in Age of Ultron, it was just like, still like, nah, man, there's still something missing because it's Mark Ruffalo. The Edward Norton, like he wasn't playing no games. You could see the seriousness on his face. There was no jokes. Like very, very minimal quips.
I agree in that sense. Like, Ed Norton is way more serious than Ruffalo. And
but with all that being said, Mark Ruffalo works with the ensemble. I don't know if Edward Norton would have worked with Tony Stark and Doctor Strange. Like that's the only thing I can say about Mark Ruffalo. He kind of fits with everybody,
especially with the banter between Stark and Bruce Banner. I can't see Ed Norton having that. Like and so I agree. Like I said, I can't see having that. The new question that came up because I forgot. You said Spider-Man is your favorite, right?
Yes.
So who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Peter Parker.
No. Actor.
Favorite Spider-Man actor would be Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, all right. Just because I've been seeing like Toby been getting a lot of love lately, and I'm just like, man. I don't. And I've been seeing a lot of Tom Holland hate. I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, for me, I don't get it because Tom Holland's my Spider-Man as well.
It's a lot of revisionist history, brother. Like, people have selective amnesia when it comes to Tobey Maguire. First of all, Spider-Man 3 is one of the worst superhero movies of all time. It's bad. Terrible.
So bad.
Yes, he did his thing in 2 and he kind of did his thing in 1, but like, it's like, come on. At this point, you guys are holding on to nostalgia. Tom Holland is an acrobat. He's a great actor, and he's playing teenage, Peter Parker. Yeah. However, I do think Garfield not getting enough credit is crazy because I'm a Spider-Man fan. Like, I got the background on, but like if I take let me see if I could take this background off so y'all can see what's going on this side of town. Right, hold up. Let me take this off and then take this off. Right.
All right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all see what's going on.
That's what's up. Yeah, you got them all out there. Yeah.
Sinister Six, and then these are comics in between the volume stuff.
Right.
So I got the Spider-Man stuff here. I got volume 1 through 6. I stopped at 6, but I got Daredevil here, Iron Man, and these are like Birth of Venom, and then up here is like Sinister Six stuff, and then I got stuff over here. There's just a lot of comics. You can see the Spider-Man stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to know, like I know, like I'm not some fly-by-night guy that's just bringing up these names because they sound cool and everybody's on the MCU now. I've been a fan of Marvel for a very long time.
Oh no, I like I said, I already knew it wasn't all cap because like certain things that you talk about that I see you talk with other like fans and everything like that, and that the things that you debate, like it's funny because like I think it was Infinity War, right? One of the things that like a lot of people didn't catch on that I saw you was one of the first people to catch on, and I was like, oh yeah, because I caught on it too, was that nod to Submariner. Like a lot of people didn't catch that. They didn't catch that moment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I saw you talking about. I was like, yeah, my nigga Mickey on it. You know what I'm saying? But then also like recently too, I also saw you champion Moon Knight. Like some dude was trying to go back and forth with you because he was like, you like when you like just in general, just like of your comic book knowledge. They was like, you know what I'm saying? You was like, yo, if they put out this Moon Knight, you know, it'd be dope. And he was like, nah, man, I want to get Static Shock. And we like, bro, you don't understand about this Moon Knight. You know what I'm saying? And like I just like to see that banter like of you know what I'm saying, dropping knowledge, explaining like, yo, it's like it's the same, like that same type of premise that you got for Black Panther, that culture, that Egyptian. You know what I'm saying? I think that like that's where, like you said, people got to understand. Like that's why that's at the beginning. That's why I called you a comic book historian, because you know what I'm saying. You know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm a very big Moon Knight fan. You know, I just a lot of it comes from my dad. You know what I'm saying? My dad had he was a big Fantastic Four fan, a big Black Panther fan,
yeah,
Silver Surfer fan. And as a kid, you want to be a part of whatever your father's doing. You know what I'm saying? And I got hooked into comics off of that, and I gravitated towards Spider-Man because he was a kid. Yeah. He was a literal kid being around these people, man. And then he was always stressed out, man. He was always stressed out about what was going on in the world. Couldn't pay his rent. His grandmother's alone. He got a girlfriend. He's failing in school because he's fighting Dr. Octopus.
Right.
So like all of this stuff, it felt like my life, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, I gravitated towards Marvel a lot. And, I'm a very big Stan Lee fan in terms of his writing. He was a great writer. So, people be trying to test my knowledge, and I'm just like, look, man, this is not something that you want to do with me, man. I've spent hours upon hours, reading comics. Like when I go on tour, I go to the comic book shop and I go in the dollar section and I pull out all types of stuff and I purchase comics. I support people,
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, question, what are you working on, bro?
Man, currently right now, I am working on like four to five projects right now. I have a project that's done right now. It's called Hugo, and it's featuring me and this guy named Fly D'Antoni, producer, artist from Atlanta / Yonkers. And he's, the project is done already, but because of the quarantine and sales and streams are down, like we kind of putting that project on hiatus a little bit before it's, okay to put it out. But like that project is done. Me and Blue have a project coming out later this year, all produced by Knots.
Oh, okay, nice.
Which is crazy. I'm working on 2 albums simultaneously. One is called One Above All. Shout out to my Marvel knowledge. If you know One Above All, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And the other one, the title for that right now is on lockdown. I'm not letting that out just yet. And then I'm working on Mouse 2, and I'm working on that daily. You know what I'm saying? Like I write a song a night. Every night I write a song from like 1 in the morning to like 5 in the morning. I'm sitting down, I'm getting this story together for the Mouse, extravaganza.
That's gonna be dope. Yeah, no, I love the fact that you out here working. I love that you got that much going on. So we gonna end it with two questions that not questions, but 2 topics that we generally do, right? So one of the topics that we do, we call top 5, right? So I wanna get your top 5 Street Fighter characters.
Top 5 Street Fighter characters would have to be Fei Long, Ryu, Sagat, outside of those 3, Guy in Street Fighter 4, and I want to say Charlie, because I like Charlie in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah. All right. Respect. All right. Now this one's probably gonna get you probably the most controversy. Top 5 superhero movies.
Top 5.
No matter what realm, all superhero movies. What is your top 5 right now?
Top 5 superhero movies. Infinity War, number 1. Dark Knight, number 2. Number 3, for me personally, Doctor Strange.
All right.
I'll get into that another time. But yeah, I love Doctor Strange. Number 4, Civil War.
All right.
And number 5, Winter Soldier.
All right, I respect that list. I respect that list, man. All right, so last thing. So we always tell our listeners, we give them recommendations, whether it's anime, whether it's comic books, movies, music, whatever that case may be. It's usually something that you are already jumping into, something that you checked out, or something that you just think the culture should get into. So you got any recommendations for the listeners?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back over to my comic area. So, again, I am a very big Marvel head, and I love Marvel to death. But what I'm about to pull out is some DC shit that I think the people should kind of try and attempt to get in tune with. And it is, for those comic heads who is out there, this is something that I loved in my childhood, and it is called Blood Syndicate. Now, I don't know if you guys know about Static Shock.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys know about, you know about Static Shock, then you should know about, the where he came from. You know what I'm saying? He came from this era. You know what I'm saying? And this is Blood Syndicate. It's a DC comic. The guy that has the gun, his name is Tech-9, and his superpower is unlimited ammo. And the guy he's shooting at, who's Holocaust, controls fire. And it's a crazy group. They're basically like the hood version of X-Men. And crazy, you know what I'm saying? Hardware is another, guy that they created who's basically like Iron Man. And Icon, who I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of, is basically Superman, you know what I'm saying? So my suggestion is Blood Syndicate. Pick up, if you can find it anywhere, pick up, a Blood Syndicate, volume number 1 and number 2. And, if you can, also do some research and get you an Infinity War comic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that comic, that whole storyline from the comic book realm is ridiculous. Like, if you thought that what we got in the movies was crazy, shit.
What we got in the movies was nothing compared to what I thought we were gonna get.
Right, but still, I got a recommendation for you, man. So, like I said, getting more into comics and trying to branch out. Like, I don't know if you ever read any of the Power Ranger comics, but bro, like they take it to a serious realm. So they take away the campiness of the show, and like they follow. So at first they follow the regular storyline, but they make it. They put a level of realism on it, and then like I said, they play with the storyline of if Tommy didn't, refuse Rita, and so he stayed. He became this hybrid of the Green Ranger, White Ranger called Lord Draken. But the reason why I'm recommending it now for sure 100% is they just did a crossover. It was the Turtles versus Power Rangers, and fucking Shredder becomes the Green Ranger, bro. And that comic is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like that's my recommendation, personal recommendation to you, because I think that you will rock with that storyline. The Power Rangers in general, but that Power Rangers versus the Turtles, that it's a 5 issue series. That storyline is crazy, and I think that
I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for it just because you suggested it, because it doesn't even sound like something I would actually read, but I'm gonna check it out to see what it's about, because I trust people who have comic book knowledge. I trust what they say, so I'm gonna see what's up with that.
All right. Well, I mean, obviously people know where to find you, but just to let the people know, man, how can they find you, man?
Man, listen, if you want to follow me on Twitter, follow me at twitter.com/Mickey Factz, MICKEYFACTZ. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Mickey.Factz. And if you want to follow me on Facebook, official Mickey Factz. Just look me up, man. I respond to everybody's DM. I'm very open. I love to debate. Just hit me up, man. Let's have a conversation.
All right, man. Again, this is the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces. That's been Mickey Factz, and this is Geekset. Hey.
Smicky.